SuperTalk Mississippi media production. It's time to talk about dogs.
Bulldogs have won it.
Talkin Dawgs, that is, with Robbie Faulk, right here on SuperTalk 100.9.
This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle, and I am thankful to have you guys here on this New Year's Eve. 2025 is coming to an end later this evening. It's been a great one, folks. We've enjoyed about 6 months, maybe 5 months, 4 or 5 months, whatever it is at this point of this show, and I thank you guys for joining me each and every week, every Wednesday, 9 to 10 a.m. right here on SuperTalk 100.9. But this isn't the only place that you can hear this show. You can hear it on the SuperTalk app. You can go to supertalk.fm, and you can go to the 100.9 page and listen to this live every single week. But also we have it on YouTube, on the SuperTalk YouTube page. And I want to remind you to download Talkin Dawgs on your Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You get this delivered to your phone each and every week, and I thank you guys for supporting this. This show has been great this year since I took over in, I believe, August for the great Jim Ellis, who had a show at this time each and every week, The Sports Edge, and it was an absolute honor to be able to step in his shoes that I'll never fill. But it was an honor to be asked to step into his shoes as he retired after an incredible career as a broadcaster. I got an opportunity to step in here at SuperTalk, a great group of people here at SuperTalk, and a great company to work for. And I'm thankful that they have me here on this show each and every week where we talk Mississippi State sports and local high school sports. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed it along the way this year. And I hope that you guys are having a very, very good New Year's Eve as we prepare for a new year. 2026 is right around the corner, and with that comes a lot of change for Mississippi State. And in Starkville, we're seeing change every single day. Highway 182 is getting a facelift. That's been a process for many, many months at this point. Downtown is getting a facelift. It's looking beautiful. A few little extra touch-ups going on, and of course, we're seeing some transition there with new businesses coming in. Some businesses are leaving. There's going to be a lot of changes in 2026, and we got a lot coming down the pipe. The Crossroads District is on the way. They've already started Hotel Madeline over there right across from campus has already started production. There's going to be a beautiful new boutique hotel right there with a rooftop bar that overlooks the city of Starkville and Davis Wade Stadium. You got a land bridge that's going to go across. It's going to be one of the hottest real estate spots in the SEC, and that's really going to market Starkville to the next level. You're going to have the U.S. Grant Library eventually going in across the street right there by the Courtyard Marriott and the Mill. I think we're about to have a construction begin on a roundabout over there on campus. So a lot of changes coming your way in 2026. And hopefully for Mississippi State, a lot of really positive changes. We're going to talk on this show about some changes that are already taking place that's kind of already happening before our eyes. But when the bowl game ends on January 2nd, a lot of change is coming Mississippi State's way, from coaching side of things on the football field to the roster. There's going to be some changes on the roster. We've already seen over 25 players enter the portal for Mississippi State, most of which were encouraged, I'll say, to do so. I don't think there's a whole lot of guys on that list at this point that is really detrimental to the 2026 roster, but we'll dive into that a little bit. And we'll dive into the new coaching hires that Jeff Lebby has made. But there's a big bowl game coming up, too, this week. On Friday, Mississippi State will be taking on Wake Forest in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. We're going to preview that game. We're going to talk about the things that we want to see in that ball game for Mississippi State to have a lot of success and to springboard into this new year of 2026. Will this be a special 2026? The Bulldogs have a chance to get off to a hot start here. We got some basketball to talk about as well coming your way here on Talkin Dawgs. I hope you guys stay tuned because there's a ton of Mississippi State sports to discuss on this beautiful and chilly New Year's Eve in Starkville, Mississippi. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, all that and more here on Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle.
At Bank Oklahoma, we treat our customers like neighbors, and usually they are. You're more than just an account number. At Bank Oklahoma, you have a name, a family, and hopes and dreams for your financial future. I'm Hunter Robertson at Bank Oklahoma in Bruce. We'd love to earn your business and help you reach your financial goals. Come see me or call 662-983-3700. Bank Oklahoma, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Looking for quality and convenience? Matheson Hardware and Building Supply has you covered. We deliver lumber, roofing, doors, windows, and more straight to your job site. And check out our full line of Milwaukee battery-powered tools, plus plumbing, electrical, and Valspar paints for every project. And now we're your local source for guns, ammo, and so much more. For over 100 years, Matheson Hardware has been built on a legacy of customer service you can trust. Go find them at 281 Scott Avenue in Matheson, Mississippi, or call them today at 662-263-4583.
Power up your convenience with the 4County mobile app. Managing your electric account has never been easier. With our free mobile app, you can view your bill, balance, and account details, report outages, track restoration progress, and make secure payments online. Stay informed by scheduling alerts and reminders for important account updates. Whether you're at home or on the go, the 4County app puts control in your hands. Download the app today and experience the power of convenience.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Hello, I'm Lee Burrell, proudly serving Oktibbeha County. The Citizens Bank has been serving our community for over 116 years, and I'm proud to be part of this vital community bank. With over 22 years of financial experience in commercial, mortgage, and consumer lending, I'm here to help with all your loan and deposit needs. Call me at 662-323-1420 or stop by my office located at 201 Highway 12 and say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting and talking with you soon. The Citizens Bank, www.thecitizensvilla.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to Talkin Dawgs on SuperTalk 100.9.
We're back here on Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk. This is Robbie Faulk. I'm in the studios in Starkville, Mississippi in the Golden Triangle. The temperature last week for Christmas was in the 70s, the high 70s at that. It was 80 degrees almost on Christmas Eve. Everybody's wearing shorts and short sleeve. Well, it's freezing cold now. It's back to winter weather in Mississippi as we get set to springboard into 2026. It's going to be an exciting time. This is a perfect time here as we go into the new year to get your priorities in line. Take care of your family. Be ready for things that you can't predict. Car wrecks, God forbid, death, weather, all that. You have to be ready for that, and Jess Brantley at Alpha Insurance can get you ready for that. He's over there in West Point. He'll take care of you wherever you're at. But it's nice to have a local agent like Jess who's going to be there on the phone when you need him, when you have a car wreck, when you're dealing with a family loss, and after that loss you're trying to sort through the financials. Jess can take care of you. You have busted pipes. This is the worst time of the year for a house when you think about the temperatures digging down into the teens, the 20s. Those pipes can easily bust. We see it every single year. Jess can be there to help with your home damage, to get you your insurance needs right there in West Point. You can find Jess at South Forest Street, 36 South Forest Street to be exact. You can call him at 662-494-4142, and his group is going to get you prepared for the worst. They're there for you in your time of need, and they'll help you save some money too. So go check out Jess Brantley at Alpha Insurance in West Point today. Mississippi State is preparing for the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm leaving on. I'm leaving tomorrow, I guess. Early in the morning, I'll head over to Charlotte. and make the long haul. I've done it before, and I can handle it. I'll have my podcast on, don't worry. I'll make the long haul over to Charlotte, North Carolina for Mississippi State and Wake Forest. It'll be probably a heavy presence of Wake Forest fans. This is a chance for them to get to 9 wins on the season. They've obviously had the better year than Mississippi State, and they get a chance to play an SEC school. And this is a chance for the ACC to say, we're better than the SEC. That's always a really good motivating tactic in the ACC because they want to beat the SEC as bad as anybody. And Mississippi State is towards the bottom of the SEC this year. They make the bowl game due to APR points, and also a lot of schools, let's just be honest about it, a lot of schools opted out of bowl games. And Mississippi State did not want to do that. And I appreciate that about the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have had a goal all season long to get to a bowl game. They didn't do it with 6 wins. But like I said a couple weeks ago, which, by the way, I want to remind folks, last week we had a Christmas Eve special. That's why I was not on. If you were wondering, for the 4 or 5 people that were wondering, where I was last week. But a couple weeks ago, when we talked about this bowl game, it was important for Mississippi State to finish the job and for these players to say something good came from this season. You were 2-10 last season. You improved your win total by 3 games. You got an SEC win. Now, you would love to have had a much better season than you had, and I understand the frustrations that happened along the year. There were certainly some frustrating things that went on throughout the year. You didn't see Kamario Taylor when you wanted to. The defense was pretty poor again this year under Coleman Hutzler. You let some games slip away. Texas, Tennessee, Florida. Those are games that Mississippi State should have won. This could easily be an 8-win ball club right now, and the Bulldogs playing in a really good bowl game. Instead, they went 5-7. And you're still going to have a losing record no matter what, but a 6-7 ball club after going 2-10 last year, with what you have coming back in Kamario Taylor, and you add the pieces to the staff like Zach Arnett and some of the other people that we're going to talk about in the show, that's going to generate a ton of excitement within this fan base. I think there's probably going to be an uptick in ticket sales regardless because of Kamario Taylor and those guys. But if you win this game, I really feel like the difference between winning and losing this game is very stout. If Mississippi State wins this ball game, it really feels like the buy-in among the fan base is going to grow tremendously in the offseason. You end the year on a very, very positive note. You're bringing back some big pieces, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You've changed things up on defense. You've added more pieces on offense and the coaching staff as well. Hopefully with a good portal haul, that even strengthens everything. But going from 2 wins to 6 next year, your goal, I think, should be 8. I don't think that's a lofty goal. 2 more wins than you had this past year. It's a very difficult schedule. You're returning a lot of players, though, and you get to 8 wins, and I think the Jeff Lebby era is off and running at that point. But this game is very big, and the prep for it has been even bigger. I think the result would be huge, but I think just having this month of preparation for this game has been absolutely massive. And Jeff Lebby talked about it in his press conference. It was more like a media availability, I guess, earlier this week. He talked about it on Sunday, just kind of speaking on Kamario Taylor. And we'll hopefully we can get you some audio on that here shortly to hear what he had to say about Kamario Taylor, because I think it's very clear at this point that Jeff Lebby knows he has something incredibly special in Kamario Taylor. He has a quarterback that not only has the tools, not only has the arm and the ability to run the football and all of that, the intangibles in which Kamario Taylor kind of brings to the table, his leadership ability, that is on a different level. And as Jeff Lebby said in his media availability, it's unlike any player he's really ever been around. So it's really something that Mississippi State has to seize here. You have a generational type quarterback that came from right down the road, that grew up a Mississippi State fan, that grew up in a family of Mississippi State people, whose uncle played football at Mississippi State, and Omar Connor. This guy wants Mississippi State to win. He's not here just to get the individual accolades, although I'm sure that's a goal. I'm sure it's his goal to win a Heisman Trophy, to be in the conversation for a Heisman or whatever. His goal, first and foremost, is to win football games for Mississippi State. He will tell you that point blank. He and his brother has the same vision, Jaden Taylor, who's coming in as a freshman this year. They have a vision in their mind of what Mississippi State can be, of what Jeff Lebby can be. And they're trying to get everybody else to get on that same mindset as them. That's a very good starting point, to have your starting quarterback have that vision and his goal to be, let's win ball games for Mississippi State. Let's compete for a playoff spot for Mississippi State. That's strong right there. And you have a guy like that on board. He hasn't contemplated transferring. He hasn't tried to hold Mississippi State hostage. Will he eventually do that in his career? I don't know. You know, money tends to manipulate people. It tends to poison people. We have not seen that with Kamario Taylor at this point. At some point, it could happen. But he has not shown at any point of his career that money is a factor for him. Now, he's going to get the money that he deserves. He's the face of this program. He's a starting quarterback in the SEC. That comes with it a price tag. You're not going to get Kamario Taylor for free. But his ultimate goal being, I want Mississippi State to win football games, is a very, very, very good thing for Jeff Lebby. And this whole month has been built around Kamario Taylor, developing him into the leader, into the quarterback he needs to be to lead this team. And everybody's jumping on board. Everybody wants to play with this guy on this team. Every receiver, every running back, the offensive lineman, they all play hard for this guy. I am super intrigued to see how he does in this ball game, having a full month and 2 weeks, essentially, to prepare. Because he had the 2 weeks preparing as a starting quarterback for the Egg Bowl. Now he's had a month of preparation for this game as the starting quarterback. He's getting all the reps. Blake Shapen left, took his ball, and he went home. Luke Kromenhawk's hitting the transfer portal. He decided to stay for this bowl game. So the majority of the reps are going to those two guys, and most of the reps are going to Kamario Taylor. That's a very, very good development going in the next season. Now, it would be nice if the Bulldogs could put that into play in this bowl game and go win a bowl game and get to 6-7. And, you know, it'll be excruciating having the 6-7 jokes from the kids if that happens. But if you're a Mississippi State fan, you will endure that for the time being if it means your team win a bowl game. So we'll see what the Bulldogs can do. They're down there in Charlotte, or up there, I guess, as we speak. They landed in Charlotte on Monday and have started preparation there. So we'll see what happens on Friday. We'll have more of that coming after the break. We're going to hear from Jeff Lebby and hear what he had to say about their bowl preparation when we get back from the break. But first, we want to hear from our sponsors. We'll be right back. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9.
Hello, I'm Lee Burrell, proudly serving Talkin County. The Citizens Bank has been serving our community for over 116 years, and I'm proud to be part of this vital community bank. With over 22 years of financial experience in commercial, mortgage, and consumer lending, I'm here to help with all your loan and deposit needs. Call me at 662-323-1420 or stop by my office located at 201 Highway 12 and say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting and talking with you soon. The Citizens Bank, www.thecitizensphila.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The newest evolution of Farmall elevates performance, comfort, and styling to continue the legacy of this legendary tractor. The new Farmall Medium Utility C-Series features 4 models that combine power and technology for use on the farm and in the field. Field Ops connectivity enables geolocation and remote monitoring of machine functions, while a heavy-duty front axle, increased hydraulic flow, and more rear lift capacity provide the power to handle more work with ease. Case IH, built by farmers. Stop by H&R AgriPower at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus today to find out more about the all-new Farmall C.
Fork County Electric Power Association has spent more than 85 years working to improve the quality of life of all we touch. And that's why we created the Fork County Foundation. Thanks to the generosity of Fork County member owners, the foundation has awarded more than $2.5 million to organizations that support the communities we serve. If you have a 501c3 organization that helps improve the lives of Fork County members, visit forkcounty.org and see if the Fork County Foundation can help you.
Looking for quality and convenience? Matheson Hardware and Building Supply has you covered. We deliver lumber, roofing, doors, windows, and more straight to your job site. And check out our full line of Milwaukee battery-powered tools, plus plumbing, electrical, and Valspar paints for every project. And now we're your local source for guns, ammo, and so much more. For over 100 years, Matheson Hardware has been built on a legacy of customer service you can trust. Go find them at 281 Scott Avenue in Matheson, Mississippi, or call them today at 662-263-4583.
Find a friend in the banking business at Bank Oklahoma and take that friend with you using Bank Oklahoma mobile banking. Manage your accounts, make deposits, payments, and transfers anywhere and anytime. Bank Oklahoma offers small town feel with big city convenience and the personalized attention you deserve. I'm Joy Faulkner at Bank Oklahoma. Better together, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Talkin Dawgs on SuperTalk 100.9.
Welcome back to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle. Robbie Faulk here. Thank you for joining us every Wednesday here on SuperTalk and anywhere you get your podcasts on the SuperTalk app. I appreciate you guys for always supporting and listening here on Talkin Dawgs. I want to remind you guys that you have got to go check out Matheson Hardware and Building Supply in Matheson. Brad Huffman and Ted Dewitt over there. Also, Mr. Chip Oswald, who has been an institution over there at that hardware store for many, many decades. Part of my family and a big part of Matheson as well. Matheson Hardware is right there in the heart of Matheson, just off of Highway 82, in between Starkville and Eupora. You've got to go check them out. They have Valspar paint. They have Milwaukee tools. They deliver to your job site. They have all the building supplies that you need and everything to take care of your home project right there at Matheson Hardware. And you can find them Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturday from 7 a.m. to noon over at 281 Scott Avenue in Matheson, or call them at 662-263-4583. They'll be happy to help you over there at Matheson Hardware and Building Supply. Thank you guys for sponsoring this show and being a part of this each and every week. Let's hear from Jeff Lebby. Jeff Lebby talked to the media on Sunday to preview the bowl. Our final talk with him before he and the team went to Charlotte. Had some interesting things to say about Camario Taylor in Mississippi State's bowl prep. Also, some freshmen, a part of the team heading to, incoming freshmen, I guess I should say, heading to Charlotte. Let's hear from Jeff Lebby right here and get his thoughts on Mississippi State's bowl game as they head to Charlotte.
Well, now that everybody's packing up, getting ready to go, what's the attitude going into bowl week?
Yeah, our guys have had great energy. I think it was really good. Got away for just a couple of days and be able to spend time with families for Christmas. And then as we got back into the building last night, team meeting, walkthrough, team dinner, man, guys are operating with some urgency and excited about the opportunity.
What's been the biggest benefit, in addition to having another ball game, of having these bowl practices the last few weeks?
Man, there's been a ton of them. I think the biggest is just some of these guys getting all these extra reps. I think there's been great development in the weight room, 15 extra lifts that we wouldn't have been able to get as a team. All the extra meetings, but the reps on the field, guys like obviously Camario, but some of these young guys offensively, guys like Grayson Harris and Frisco and Bull Mitchell that you didn't see get a lot of work, have gotten a ton of work, and man, they've shown up, and that's been fun to watch because these guys got a bunch of ability, but they hadn't gotten a ton of work. So if their number gets called in the bowl game, I think they'll be ready to roll.
What was it like to get the word to guys like Nick Mitchell and Brennan Thompson that they were going to have one more game? Yeah. And how satisfying was it to you to be able to deliver that message?
Incredibly satisfying, and that was really the message last night, is to go in this thing the right way. We've got this great opportunity. It's like I told these guys, man, we got a great chance. We got a choice to make, and how we do what we do is we go get ready to play. And we'll keep talking about that, but guys like Nick Mitch, like Albert Reese, Jacoby Jackson, Zico, Brennan Thompson, and J-Man, Brylo, and like the list goes on. And wanting to be able to go finish the right way for these guys would be special.
I know they can't go to the bowl site with you, but how many 26 signings ended up in a couple practices?
just 3. And they can go, but they can't play in the game.
Gotcha.
So that's how that sets up. The rules and how they've changed really limits the amount of guys that you can bring in. And so it was hard being able to get that done, but we did. We were able to get 3 guys in. They've been a part of practice, which has been really good, and they'll go with us, but obviously won't be able to play in the game.
Zayon, Micah, and
Braylon. Yep.
You've had about a month with Kamario now as QB1.
Yeah.
What's something he's doing now that he wasn't doing a month ago?
Just his presence, just how vocal he is with whether it's the offense or in a team setting, whatever it is, you can just feel him and his leadership ability a lot more today than you could 6 weeks ago, and I think that's probably the biggest difference naturally.
Are there any injured guys you don't expect to play this week?
No, I mean, we do. We feel like we're in a good place from an injury standpoint. As we get closer, I think there's a couple of guys that still have some things lingering, but I think we're going to be good for game day.
With that, at that position, kind of hybrid linebacker position, with Tony Mitchell going to the transfer portal and Isaac being banged up lately, what about who do you see stepping up there?
Yeah, I think the rotation at safety's got a chance to look just a little bit differently, but we've got guys that have played a bunch of snaps, and so depending on what we're getting from them could dictate a little bit of that. Won't dive into that too much, but that's something we're continuing to work through.
You mentioned Camario's leadership there. How unusual is it for a true freshman to have that aura about it that a team just buys into it?
I hadn't been around any like him, so he got a lot of work to do. There's no doubt about that, but just again, his command, his presence, who he is in the building every single day, there's this great amount of consistency, and it's really hard for young people to operate that way. I got my thumb on him pretty good every single day, and he naturally is about the right things. And an incredible kid, man. He wants to please, he wants to get coached, and he wants to go play well.
Is it amusing watching him and Fluff in action together?
It's fun watching them in action together, and
need those off the field.
Yeah, no doubt. Need those guys to play incredibly well on the second, and they will.
All right, that was Jeff Lebby talking a little bit about Mississippi State. I gave you just a clip of that. You can go check out our site. Paul Jones had a Q&A transcript there. Go check us out, by the way, at Maroon and White Daily. We have 50% off of an annual subscription right now, just $60 for the entire year. You get full transfer portal intel. You can look at the network, see all the other sites. It's really a great investment. Come check us out over there. But you can hear what Jeff Lebby said on Sunday. Really interesting stuff, especially his comments about Kamario Taylor. I really feel like Kamario Taylor has a chance to be super special during his time at Mississippi State. I want to transition real quick into preparing for 2026 for the Bulldogs. And Jeff Lebby, there's been some people talking about he needs to invest in his staff. He needs to add more people to his staff. Mississippi State needs to show more investment. Well, they're doing that. They go out and they fire Coleman Hutzler early in December. We've reported that. Zach Arnett comes in as the Mississippi State's new defensive coordinator. He's back in Starkville. Really kind of a crazy story that Zach Arnett is back, but that's a huge part for Mississippi State next year to have Arnett as defensive coordinator, and he brings in a very familiar face as his linebacker coach in Matt Brock. That's going to be big. Both of those guys have worked together for several years. Brock was Mississippi State's defensive coordinator in 2023, did an excellent job, did a really good job at UConn. Those guys have been really good together, and I think linebacker play at Mississippi State is going to be very good. You look at the linebackers that they're bringing back next year, that's a really good, really talented linebacker crew for the Bulldogs. Now we start to kind of break down a little bit of what Mississippi State has added. And it's going to be interesting to see how all this kind of comes together for the Bulldogs over the coming weeks. The other day, I guess let's go back about 2 or 3 weeks ago. They added Keevy Thompson, who's a familiar face to people in Starkville. He was Starkville's defensive coordinator under head coach Chris Jones. Ended up kind of starting to really rise. Went to EMCC, was a defensive coordinator there. I think he was at West Alabama coaching defensive backs. Todd Grantham hired him as a defensive backs assistant last year at Oklahoma State. So he was coaching at Oklahoma State last season, helping with defensive backs. He's now a defensive backs assistant at Mississippi State, and I think going to be a key component to Mississippi State's recruiting efforts in the defensive backfield. Obviously has some tremendous ties in the state of Mississippi. The same can be said for Desmond Lindsay, who comes over as the wide receivers coach at UTEP. He's the assistant wide receivers coach for Mississippi State. Taylorsville native, South Mississippi, has a lot of ties here, recruited well at Southern Miss, has coached at Memphis. He's going to help Mississippi State develop receivers and recruit there. But the Bulldogs have also added two really good additions on the offensive side of the ball. Kevin Johns, the quarterback coach from Oklahoma State, he was also co-offensive coordinator at Oklahoma right after Jeff Lebby left, and also has been offensive coordinator at Duke, Texas Tech. This guy's well respected within the industry. Was a guy we talked about a couple of years ago when Lebby was putting together his staff. Kevin Johns was a guy that we discussed could be a part of that staff for Mississippi State. He's coming on as an assistant coach of the offense. I'm hearing that Johns is going to be working directly with the quarterbacks. There's a chance that Matt Holichek, the quarterback's coach, moves on from Mississippi State after the bowl game. It would not shock me to see Kevin Johns be Mississippi State's new QB coach, and that's a tremendous hire if so. He's worked for about a decade plus coaching quarterbacks. That guy with Jeff Lebby as the quarterback's coach is pretty strong. Before that, Bush Hamden, former Kentucky offensive coordinator, Boise State offensive coordinator. He was hired as a associate head coach for the offense. And I do not know what his job duties will be at this point, but there's a chance he could be Mississippi State's wide receivers coach. I don't know. But that's a guy with an extensive resume in the SEC. He was at Missouri. He was at Florida, Kentucky, obviously. He's been in the NFL. He coached with Steve Sarkisian at the Atlanta Falcons and at Washington. Really good coach. There's been bad mouthing from Kentucky fans about his coaching because of his time as an OC, but I think you have to separate that from what he would be doing at Mississippi State. I think that's a great add. And then finally, the Bulldogs have added a new defensive line coach. I'm expecting David Turner to step away. Ty Warren, former Texas A&M legend, was a two-time Super Bowl champion for the New England Patriots on the defensive line. He's been at Rice, has been coaching for 3 years in college football as a defensive line coach, kind of making a quick rise. He is the new defensive line coach. We'll wait and see on that. We'll wait and see on all these hires, but Jeff Lebby adding some new pieces. I expect new pieces to come after the bowl game as well. So we'll see how it all turns out for Mississippi State. All right, going to take another break. When we get back, Mississippi State basketball is heating up, and I got plenty to say. We'll be back. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9.
Bank Oklahoma is committed to the communities we serve. We offer the small town feel with big city convenience and give you the personalized attention you deserve. Come see me, Gene Childs, Community Bank President in Houston and Manatee. We have locations in Aberdeen, Bruce, Houston, Manatee, Okolona, and Tupelo. Bank Oklahoma, where we are better together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Landowners, are you ready to turn your timber into real value? At Good Hope Land and Timber, we specialize in helping landowners like you make smart, sustainable decisions. Whether you're planting a final harvest, thinning a stand, development thinning, or managing your forest long-term, our experienced team is here to guide you every step of the way. We're trained in the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and follow best management practices to protect your land and maximize your return. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Here at H&R AgriPower, we know you expect premium performance and dependable durability from your Case IH equipment, and you should demand the same from the parts you put inside it. Only Case IH genuine parts are guaranteed to perform to the rigorous standards of your Case IH equipment. They're engineered to work harder and last longer so you can maximize your uptime and minimize your maintenance intervals. Others can imitate, but none can replicate. Nothing beats the original. Case IH genuine parts. For Case IH genuine parts, visit H&R AgriPower at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus.
Hello, I'm Lee Burrell, proudly serving Talkin County. The Citizens Bank has been serving our community for over 116 years, and I'm proud to be part of this vital community bank. With over 22 years of financial experience in commercial, mortgage, and consumer lending, I'm here to help with all your loan and deposit needs. Call me at 662-323-1420 or stop by my office located at 201 Highway 12 and say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting and talking with you soon. The Citizens Bank, www.thecitizensvilla.com, member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk back here on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle. Thank you, folks, for joining me on this beautiful Wednesday, New Year's Eve in Starkville, Mississippi, or wherever you're at. Thank you for tuning in. And again, don't forget to download this show on your podcast. You can listen to it every single week straight to your phone. After my guy Sebastian gets done uploading it, it'll be right there for you to listen to on your cell phone, tablet, TV, wherever. All right, so we've talked a lot of Mississippi State football today, and now we are going to talk basketball. We're transitioning into basketball. After this week, we will have no football to talk about in terms of ball games. Of course, we'll have some news for you when the transfer portal starts to heat up, Mississippi State adds pieces, things like that. But it's going to be mostly basketball until February when baseball season rolls around, and then we're locked in on baseball. It's that part of the year. And we got two basketball teams that we follow at Mississippi State, the men and the women. Doesn't happen at a lot of places, but the interest in women's basketball in Mississippi State is still alive. The Bulldog women under Sam Purcell have remained consistent each and every year. He's won 20-plus games in his first 3 seasons. He's been to postseasons all 3 years, and he went to the NCAA tournament 2 out of 3 years, including last season. This year's team has been a little bit of a surprise, I'm not going to lie. Now, the schedule has been fairly weak. I'll be honest with you. The one really good team that they've played to this point is Texas Tech, who is still undefeated. And that game, Mississippi State really should have won that ball game. They just couldn't come out with it. Texas Tech is 14-0 and 21st in the country. Mississippi State went to Texas Tech and lost that ball game. But they were in it. They had a 15-point lead in the first quarter. They just kind of fell apart. Scored 31 points in the first quarter. They scored 31 of the next 3 quarters. They lost that game 69-62. And it was a great game down to the last couple minutes when things just kind of unraveled. State had a chance to win that game. But you look back at that game now as a tremendous test for them, and they weren't playing their best basketball, and they still could have beaten a Texas Tech team that is likely going to be in the NCAA tournament, barring a collapse. And since then, the Bulldogs have been just flat-out dominant. I thought that they were hit or miss in Florida when they went to Emerald Coast Classic right after that. They didn't play well against Alcorn State. They had their moments against Middle Tennessee, but they won both of those games by double digits. Since then, it's been a locked-in team. You know, ULM was 66-54, but something flipped against Pitt in the ACC-SEC Challenge. They won that ball game. They were up by 50, I think, in that game. They won it 79-44. They beat Charlotte by 30. They beat Southern Miss handily by 23 points. That's a solid Southern Miss team. They beat Alabama State by 48 points. They went to LaSalle and won that game by 48 points, 85-37. And second half did not even have Madison Francis playing, the freshman. And then this past week, Sunday, this might have been the most impressive performance offensively in the Sam Purcell era. 112-54 over Samford. And that's the most points scored in the Sam Purcell era. It's the most points scored by Mississippi State team since 2019 when Vic Schaefer was here. The Bulldogs scored 122 against Troy. That was as impressive a performance as I've seen at Mississippi State in a long time. And the most impressive thing about it is you had 4 players with double-doubles. You almost had 5. If Destiny McFall would have had 2 more points, she would have had 5 double-doubles. She had 8 points and 10 assists. Favor Dozie had 30 points and 11 rebounds. Madison Francis had 23 points and 11 rebounds and 4 block shots. Jayla Lampley had 24 points and 10 rebounds. And then Chandler Prater had 10 points and 10 rebounds. I mean, this team is, I know it's Samford. It was definitely a mismatch with what Samford does, the size that they have, etc. But my goodness, this team is playing good basketball. 13-1 through non-conference play. Now, that we will know after the month of January what this team is. We'll know very quickly if this team is good enough to compete inside the SEC. There's no doubt about that. We will know. But they're beating teams down that they're supposed to beat down. They look like an SEC basketball team. They're not struggling with these teams. They're playing cohesive as a unit. It's been a extremely fun team to watch. They've grown together. They're young. They're about the right things. And then the leadership has been really good. Chandler Prater has been so steady. 10 points a game for Chandler Prater, 7 rebounds. This has been the best basketball she's played probably of her career, and she's going under the radar. She plays 24 minutes a game. She defends. She rebounds. She shares the basketball. She's efficient from the field, 45% shooter. And then these new faces have just been incredible. Favor Dozie has 7 double-doubles in 14 games. She's averaging 15 points, 11 rebounds a game. Madison Francis has looked like one of the best freshmen in the country, especially since he's entered the starting lineup. 13 points a game, 7 rebounds, averaging about 4 blocks, three or 4 blocks a game. Destiny McFall, 12 points a game for her, has been state's best facilitator. She's averaging about 5 assists a game. Jayla Lampley has really come into her own. That's a player that's probably going to move into the starting lineup at some point. I don't see how you can keep her off the floor. She looks like another player that's going to be a superstar. 11 points per game, 6 rebounds. She shoots 57% from the field. She's a 47% three-point shooter. I mean, these players, the top 5 have been fantastic. And you have some players that are coming along. Carissa Richardson's starting to get better. Triana Crisp, she was ill the other day, but she can really shoot it. They are a team that's playing really well. Now, this schedule is an absolute gauntlet that they have coming up. They start with Auburn tomorrow night, 6:30 at the Hump. Then they go to number 8, Oklahoma. That's a fun one right off the bat. They host Tennessee, which is a top 25 team, 23rd in the country, one of the most talented teams in the country. They go to top 20 Ole Miss. They host top 15 Vanderbilt. They host top 15 Kentucky. They go to Alabama, who's been in the top 25 this year. They go to Knoxville to close out January. My gosh, that is the toughest stretch I have seen in a while. In February, there are some winnable games. But for me, when I'm looking at this team, and I look at the expectation of this team, they were picked 10th in the league. That's where I had them. I thought that this team is probably going to be somewhere around 5 to 7 wins in SEC play. If they can get to 7 wins again in the SEC, 20 wins overall, I think that's an NCAA tournament team, and I think this is one heck of a coaching job by Purcell. On the men's side, really rough start. They're 8-5, but the last few games they have been coming around. We've seen a team that started to grow a little bit. They lost to San Francisco 65-62 in Tupelo in the final seconds of that ball game. Josh Hubbard went down that game with an injury. If he plays, they win that game, and we're sitting here talking about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7-game winning streak going into SEC play. The outlook of this team looks a lot different at 9-4, I think. But they've been fairly good since then. They struggled against Long Island to win that game, but they gutted out a win against Memphis. They blew out Alabama State like they should on Monday night, 94-56. I think you're starting to see roles come together for this team. I think you're starting to see other players like Sergey Masera starting to really come along and become a better player. King Grace had a really good game on Monday night. That could be a guy that can help you. Obviously, Jamar Davis-Fleming has really come along as well. it's a team that they're just trying to figure it out. I'm not ready to throw in the towel on Chris Jans. I think he's just trying to figure out where to put these guys and how to make them winners. They're 8-5 right now. They're firmly off the bubble. They're nowhere close to making the NCAA tournament. But that could change. They're on a 4-game winning streak here. You win these first 2 conference games, which is, I think, possible. You go to Texas on Saturday at 5 p.m., SEC Network, and then you come back home on Wednesday to host Oklahoma. Those games are winnable. If you're 10-5 at that point, and you start 2-0 in SEC play, then I think you can start talking about, okay, this team can start making up some ground. But they got a long way to go, folks. They're at 105, I think, in the net right now. A long way to go for Chris Jans and company. But this is a coaching experiment right now. And a lot of people don't want to hear that in year 4. And it shouldn't be that way. But that's what the transfer portal has done. There's going to be years like this. Can Chris Jans coach himself out of it? We'll see. But they're coming together at the right time. We'll see what happens. All right, we're going to take one more break. When we come back, we will wrap this thing up and take you guys into New Year's. Looking forward to it. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on Super Talk 100.9.
Looking to complete those tough jobs and don't have the right equipment? Let H&R AgriPower in Columbus help you out. We now offer Kubota's mini excavators, track loaders, and L-Series tractors available for rent. You can also rent attachments like our cutter heads, grapples, post hole diggers, and more. Give H&R AgriPower a call for daily, weekly, and monthly rental rates. Stop by your hometown dealer today. Visit us at our new location, located at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus.
Power up your convenience with the 4-County mobile app. Managing your electric account has never been easier. With our free mobile app, you can view your bill, balance, and account details, report outages, track restoration progress, and make secure payments online. Stay informed by scheduling alerts and reminders for important account updates. Whether you're at home or on the go, the 4-County app puts control in your hands. Download the app today and experience the power of convenience.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Looking to get the most out of your land? Trust the experts at Good Hope Land and Timber, your full-service land and timber company with years of experience in forestry and land management. From land and timber purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting, our team handles it all, safely, efficiently, and sustainably. Our experienced logging force is trained to the highest standards under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
Find a friend in the banking business at Bank Oklahoma. A friend who's there when you open your first account, when you buy that first car, and when you find the home you've been working for. At Bank Oklahoma, you'll find local people with local answers, ready to serve you with the customer care you deserve. Hi, I'm Tim Alford, Community Bank President, Bank Oklahoma in Aberdeen. Come see me or call me at 662-369-2772. Bank Oklahoma, your friend in the banking business, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on Super Talk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk back here on Super Talk 100.9 on this New Year's Eve. Chilly New Year's Eve in Starkville. Wherever you're at, I hope you guys are having a great New Year's Eve. I hope you're enjoying company of your family and you ring in the new year the right way later this evening. I want to again thank Jess Brantley over in West Point for his support of this show and what he does to take care of folks just like you in your hometown. Jess is over in West Point, but he can help you wherever. And I love the folks at Alpha. Good people. They take care of you. They're always there to answer your phone call, answer your text. You're going to be taken care of. And the best thing about it is you're saving money while you're doing it. So you have good people and you're saving dollars. That's where you got to go. Alpha Insurance, and go check out my guy Jess Brantley and his crew over in West Point, South 4th Street, 662-494-4142. You can find Jess and he'll take care of you. Also, Brad and Ted and Chip over at Matheson Hardware in downtown, beautiful Matheson, Mississippi. Love that store, love what they do over there, and they got everything you need. You don't have to go to the big box stores. You can go right there to your local hardware store. That's where you're going to find somebody greeting you at the door. That's where you're going to find somebody that can get you what you need for your homework and things you got to do when your wife leaves you a list on the table. That's it right there. You could build an entire house with what you got over there at Matheson Hardware, and they deliver. So go check them out as well over 281 Scott Avenue in Matheson and call them at 662-263-4583. Mississippi State and Wake Forest coming your way on Friday evening. 7 p.m. Central. You can find that game on ESPN. I will be there to cover it, and you can follow along on Twitter, Robbie Faulk on 3, or come over to Maroon and White Daily. Again, we have 50% off right now at Maroon and White Daily for coverage of the transfer portal, coverage of coaching search whenever we're still following some of the coaching search information. We told you before it happened that Ty Warren was a guy to watch at the defensive line coach position. We've told you about Fat Force pulling his name out of the transfer portal, the linebacker at Mississippi State, and we had a lot more intel on what was going on behind the scenes for the Bulldogs as they prepare for the bowl and the coaching search for some of these coaches. We also have a story on there right now about the retention. Some of the conversations that are taking place behind the scenes with the Bulldog Initiative and Jeff Lebby with players trying to keep them at Mississippi State for 2026. All that information is what people are seeking on a daily basis, and Maroon and White Daily members, they get that. And you can get it for 50% off an annual subscription. That's about $60 for the entire year. You can't beat it. I mean, you can't even buy a meal, a really good meal with your wife for $60 now. You can get that every day on the message boards, news for Mississippi State sports, all that stuff right there at Maroon and White Daily. Come join us today. We would absolutely love to have you over there with us. We have a great community of posters, great people. I'm super thankful. This is going to be year 3 now at Maroon and White Daily. I can't believe it. We're going on year 3 over there at Maroon and White Daily. It's been a blessing. On3 is skyrocketing to the moon. I'm so thankful to be there with Shannon Terry and everybody over there at On3. We're adding talent every single day. We have some more exciting news coming to the network this week, I think tomorrow. So you want to be there. You want to be a part of it. And you want to pay attention to what's going on this week with Mississippi State as they take on Wake Forest. It should be a really fun ball game. I think State's going to be inspired to play this game. A lot of young guys wanting to get in there and get their licks in and get an opportunity. Wake Forest is going for 9 wins, and they get a chance to play an SEC team. So I think both of these teams are going to be super excited to play. I'm super excited to get up there and cover this game, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. All right, Happy New Year, everybody. I'll see you on the other side. We will see you next week for another episode of Talkin Dawgs. I can't wait for the year ahead, and I hope you guys have a fabulous new year. I'm thankful for all you guys. Hope you enjoy this time with your family, enjoy this new year, and have a great weekend. See you guys. Catch you down the road.
You've been listening to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk.
Mississippi State with a victory here.
Listen each Wednesday at 9 a.m. on SuperTalk 100.9.
Don't you know I'm gonna make it with my friends? I promised myself I'd get by. Said I'm gonna try it with them too.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.